KMFM's Pop Anthems, and tonight, hanging out with us is S Club. How are you guys?
Hey.
Hello.
So we've got Joe, Bradley and John joining us. And of course, S Club are back together, celebrating 25 years. Now, we remember you guys as a 7. Sadly, Hannah isn't joining you this time. And tragically, we lost Paul earlier this year. Now, in memory of Paul, you've released your first single in 20 years. Now, the music video, I've got to say, is incredibly fitting. I mean, let me come to you first, John. Tell me a little bit about the process of putting that incredible tribute and music video particularly together.
It was actually Gayla, who has worked with us since the very beginning, and she loved Paul just as much as we did. So she sat through, thousands and thousands of hours of footage and created this beautiful video in tribute to Paul. There was a look back and a celebration of who he was, of this bonkers mental character that he was. And with the song as well, it's still got that nod to our old sound. It's still a very much S Club song. And that was really important for us to kind of nod to our old days, but also look to the future as well.
Joe, can you remember when you sat down and watched the end product for the first time and you watched the music video in full? How was that, watching it back?
Really emotional, actually. Yeah, it is. I think when you see it all come together and all the finalised bits and bobs were all put together, and especially like the message of the song, and then obviously seeing all the footage of Paul, it was really emotional. But also, you sort of like, I did cry, but then I'd sort of like go from crying to hysterically laughing because of something funny that he's doing in the video. So I think it was just the perfect tribute, 100%.
Do you know what I love in with the clips as well? Seeing the red S Club convertible. Bradley, who's been keeping that in storage? What happened there? How did you bring that back?
Well, this is a different car, actually. The one we actually filmed with in America was a Chevy. And Paul would be able to tell you exactly what year that Chevy was. Because I remember him on set going, it's a 1956 Chevy. And each season we'd have a slightly different one. So they would be like, I don't think many people would have noticed. Like, I wouldn't have noticed. But he was like, oh, this one's a 1954 or 60 something. You know, but this actually was Joe, you got it right yesterday, didn't you? It was a 1989, what was it?
XJS.
XJS, Jaguar XJS, that's right, 1989. But I think we purposely didn't go with the Chevy this time. So it's us driving away with a new car with a new future.
Yeah, and I think we can really tell that as well by listening to the song and seeing you guys and listening to you guys at the moment, which must be quite tough, but also exciting because you've got an incredible rest of 2023 to come. You've got the tour. We're going to talk about that in a little while, but let's stick with the new music. I was reading earlier on that you have been working with the same team on your new sound, on your new song, that you worked with 20 years ago. So how did it feel, John, getting back into the studio together?
It's amazing. I mean, Joe will say this in another interview as well. It's like no time has passed. As the second we all get together in a room, there's something happens. We've got this connection that nobody else has got. And we understand each other like no one else understands each other, and we support each other as well. So to come back into the studio, not only with the group as they are, but also with our original team, like Simon Ellis, Kathy Dennis, all these people that wrote these amazing songs for us back in the day, to have the original family back together is really exciting for us, and we can't wait.
Does anyone, Joe, have any bad studio habits? Is there anything anyone does whilst they're in the studio and they do something and you're just like, it's a bit of an ick? It's like, oh, what's going on there? No one picks their toes, do they? Or walks around on the carpet with bare feet? I can't stand that in the office when someone does that.
Thankfully, no. I actually think we're quite well behaved. I think probably the worst thing will probably be, one thing I can't stand is crisp packets rattling. So it drives me mad. But yeah, no icks really. I'm quite ickless.
You're ickless. I love that. Nothing. No, guys, this needs to be, when you're back in the studio together next, the task and the challenge is how can we annoy Joe? It's the only way. It will be a nice idea, and see if it can happen, because you stated
we really
it.
know how. Just get loads of crisps, we'll be fine.
Yeah. So you're in the studio. Is the plan to record more new stuff? Have you recorded any more new music, Bradley?
We haven't recorded anything new just yet. I mean, we've said we talked about some ideas for the future. We've got some surprises in store for you guys. The main focus is the tour right now. But obviously the new song, These Are the Days, is going extremely well. The fans are loving it. We're on the right track. So I think people, if we did do some new music, people would like to see that. So yeah.
We were obviously speaking about the new song, so I think now's the time to have a proper chat about it. These Are the Days. If you had to compare it to any of your other hits, we've just heard Don't Stop Moving. I think it's slightly different to that, of course. What would you compare it to, John? What would you compare this to?
I don't know. It's got a bit of a bop to it. It's got that sort of old, slightly Motowny sound to it, which quite a few of our old songs, like Everybody Wants, has got that sort of bop underneath it. Even You, the single we released, has got that sort of Motowny swing to it as well.
Back,
so, yeah, Bring It All Back as well. It's got that vibe to it. So it's with S Club, it's always been all about the message. You know what I mean? It's always this positive message of you can do anything and just follow your dreams and go for it. So I think that message is still very clear in the song.
And we were talking, Joe, about obviously being a bit more of a stage girl versus a studio girl and getting out there and being able to perform the song. How much of a moment is that going to be, performing this song live for the first time?
Oh, I think that's going to be really, really exciting. Yeah, because it's always exciting when you do something that you've never done before. It's quite scary doing it in an arena, but yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it.
And Bradley, obviously, we are about to play your new song, so it'd be good to hear a little bit from you about what it feels like to be back 25 years later and still introducing your songs on the radio. Does it still give you a buzz?
I mean, come on, we're super proud, super lucky that we can come back 20 plus years later and still get played on the radio. You know, it's great. I mean, yeah. So fantastic. These are the days. Hi, we're S Club,
and
this is our new single.
These are the days.
I'll blame it on the latency, right? All right? That's what it is. It's because we're all at different Wi-Fi speeds, right? You know?
S Club are here, yes.
Hey!
This really is like a pinch me moment for me, like listening to music 20 years ago and having you guys here. Honestly, it is incredible. Now, the reunion, of course, it must be a bit of the same for you guys. 25 years of S Club. So I've got to ask the question, John. I bet you've answered this question so many times, but what can we expect on tour?
Obviously, it's going to be all of our hits. I think we've got 11 singles already, so they're definitely all going to be in the show. And this time around, we tried to listen to the fans about what songs they wanted to hear from our albums. And they were very forward and they gave us a long list. So we're going to try and put as many of those songs, whether it be just like a verse here and a chorus there, but try and put as many of those songs into the show. Because it really is a celebration of what we have done for the last 25 years, which deserves to be celebrated.
And what about the iconic S Club dance routines, Joe? How are you getting on remembering those and practicing those again?
I mean, we're all oiling ourselves up, so yeah, there'll be a few in it. I don't know about backflips and cartwheels so much, but yeah, I think we've still got it.
Yeah, Bradley, is think the big word in that, or have you still got it?
We did a little bit of rehearsals not long ago, just to oil the cogs. And the backflips for me, I mean, I'm gonna kind of hold back from that. I did a little move like a breakdance move, and my knee kind of went. I was like, okay, I know my limitations now. So, but a little bit more warming up and stretching, I will be fine. But I don't know about the backflips.
I'm really keen to find out, John, if you can remember anything from your first tour together. Can you remember like a particular moment?
I remember the opening because we all came on at different times, didn't we? Do you remember when Hannah come down from the ceiling? I came through the audience. Remember the security guy had to help me up onto the stage? Yeah, so it's just we all sort of came in and then
Hannah who came in on the go-kart? Who was that?
I think she came down. She come
Paul
down
came
on
in
the
on the
wire.
go-kart.
Paul came in on the go-kart. I really got the rough end of the straw there, though.
I came out with two girls. You came for a door?
Yeah.
It's like they run out of ideas, Joe, and just went, yeah, well, she can open the door and come through.
All these elaborate things. It's like, what should we give her? Give her the door.
You can look at it like this, though. It's like you was the smart one. Everyone came in all dramatically. You just like, I'll just shoot the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look, there's one final question. Let's come to you about this, Joe, about your fans. They are so excited to see you back on stage again. Just tell me a little bit about how much they mean to you and how excited you are to play in front of them.
without the fans, we wouldn't be standing here doing this today. So, you know, I think we all owe everything to the fans. We do really appreciate them, love them so much. We can't wait to see them all getting out there on stage and hearing them all singing along to our songs. So, yeah, very grateful and very, very lucky.
Well, Joe, Bradley and John, thank you so much for hanging out. And I think we have to finish with one of your biggest pop anthems. It's the only way to do it. So let's get on Reach. This will obviously be on your set list as part of the tour, right?
Absolutely, without doubt.
Brilliant. And good luck with the tour, guys. It's S Club. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.